'89 C3500 one-ton crew cab long box dually, and this thing is clean as clean can get. It's got dents and scrapes and stuff. It was a truck that hauled a bunch of stuff back and forth from across the states. But other than that, she's super clean. All the cab corners, rocker panels, everything's clean underneath. It's just a real treat to work on compared to what I'm used to working on. She's got, like I said, she's got some scratches, a few dings and dents here, but other than that, it's got no rot, which what I was looking for. It's a 454 4L80 combo. Here's the worst body damage. The tire blew out and cracked and busted the fender. Back here too, and creased the fender in a bit. I don't know if you can pull that out. It's very sad that it happened to a rust-free box side, but it does happen. This door has a pretty good ding in it. The interior in it's pretty clean. It does have some stains, and the guy drove around with his dogs in it, and it does smell pretty bad of dogs in here. So it does need a pretty good cleaning. The dash is got some cracks in it. It needs a cap or replaced. Radio does not work. It's got some play in the steering. It does have a trailer brake controller. But yeah, it's pretty clean inside and out. Did have a fifth wheel and gooseneck ball, but I didn't get them, unfortunately. Kind of wish I did. Would have been nice to have. As you can see, some stainage, but not a lot of rips or anything. Some on the front of the seats up front. Got some wear in there. I found a set of seats that are pretty cheap. I'm thinking about going and getting them just because maybe they won't stink as bad as these. I got the dome light override off right now, but that speaker grill over there is broke, which in the crew cab trucks, there's actually not a speaker in the doors. They're still using the 4x6s behind the pillow there. And the bracket, or not the bracket, but the bezel on the handle is broke. It's pewter metallic, which is pretty much everything I own's color. So it fits in quite well. Does not have a rear lower plug other than the little flat 4-pin plug here. So I got a nice plug coming with it's got the 4-pin, 5-pin flat with, as you can see, the ground's broke off that one anyways. But I got a nice one of them coming that I'm gonna wire in. She's got a little bit of overspray here and there. I think a nice buff would take some of the scratches out and make it look a little nicer. But yeah, she's pretty heavy duty truck. This door panel's got a few chips and stuff in it, but not too bad. It does run pretty decent. It's got a miss, and I actually have some video footage of me trying to get rid of the miss, because I actually worked on this truck a little bit before shooting the video. And as you can see here, I've got the whole Vortec resonator box off there. But yeah, the EGR tube was broke, so I took that and it's capped off now. And of course the wind's gonna blow. Had all new AC and stuff put in it last year. Well, at least new compressor and everything gone through. New alternator and a bunch of stuff on the front. It does have like I said, a miss. It's got a set of new injectors in it, new spark plugs. He put wires on it, and a distributor cap and rotor. Everything seems to be good there. These do have the plastic body distributors in them, and it's got 220,000 on the truck, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's wore down and got some wear in it and some play causing the issue. So I went ahead and ordered one. But yeah, we'll see. If I continue having the miss, it's not a big deal. I will probably drive this truck for a while, even if I can't get the miss out of it with this engine. But I do have a 6.0 that I will. Well, guys, sorry about that. I got a phone call in there, kind of interrupting the video. But like I said, I got a 6.0, and if I don't get this miss out of this 454, I mean, it could be something internal. It could be a valve train problem. I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to save a older 454. I know it is the Vortex, the better 454, but if I got a nice 6.0 and putting a 6.0 in this would be pretty easy. It's already got a 4L80 in it, so all I'd have to do, my 6.0 came off 4L80, so I can put it back in here, integrate it in with the factory harness and everything. This thing has the auxiliary front fan, heavy-duty trans cooler, oil cooler. It's got all the stuff that you want in one of these trucks. I've ordered a bunch of stuff to it. I'm definitely going to fix it regardless of if this 454 is good or not. It'll either end up with a 6.0, or if the distributor fixes the 454, we'll run the 454 for a while. They do tend to pull pretty good, so we will go ahead and see how it goes. But so let me go ahead and throw the clips in from the other day when I was attempting to fix this miss. It does run slightly better, but we'll see in the coming weeks when I get distributor and stuff that it actually fixes the problem. So enjoy. What's up, guys? Back in the garage shop again here, and we're going to take a little time to work on the truck that I got in the last video. My trade up for my 88 Suburban, the 99 C3500. I do apologize for the wind out the door there. This thing's a bit big for my shop, so I'll have all them lovely leaves blowing in while I'm working on it here. But there's a few things wrong with it. Like I said in the previous video, it's got a miss. The EGR leaked pretty bad. I messed with it today at work. It needs an oil change. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do an oil change on it today. I got all the stuff to do that. We're gonna hopefully dink around with this. These are dash 14 JIC fittings, or 7/8 JIC fittings. I looked all over for hydraulic caps and couldn't find any local, so I'll probably end up buying them. But I know for a fact that you can actually take the ferrule out, the thing that makes the stamped hose tight. You can take that out and use a quarter to block it off. I did that at work. It's got a quarter in it blocking it off. We got the hose just crimped it with a pair of vice grips. I did help eliminate the bad exhaust leak it had there, because it was literally just cut off, and they had a piece of they had like literally a tin can wrapped up and hose clamped around it. So we're gonna go ahead and just delete the EGR and bypass it. I do have a check engine light on now, and I believe it is from the EGR not functioning correctly. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my code reader, and we'll jump in there and see what the codes were. All right, guys, I'm gonna try to do this quick because that buzzer is just gonna be entirely annoying for you guys. I got one DTC. It's okay. Yeah, okay. Read codes. Flow insufficient. I figured that was gonna come up. I'm sure that's what it is. Insufficient flow. So there we go. You guys took it to hear that. That's what I figured the code was for. So that won't be a problem. I do plan on tuning this possibly with HP tuners. I did think about doing a 411 swap with it, but I figured it's never really going to be a high performance truck. I'm not going to put the cam or anything in it. Might get some long tubes and maybe better intake, but the intake works pretty good. So the black box will work pretty good. So we don't need to rev high or anything, because I believe these are hard coded like 5,600 RPM, which is plenty for a truck that's going to be towing. And that's primarily what this truck's going to do for me. So I'm going to go ahead and jack the front up and crawl under there and burn myself and get this oil draining. Alright guys, I already got some spots on the floor, so it's leaking coolant, and I think I can kind of figure that one out to the fact that, I don't know if you can see up there, you really can't very well, but yeah, you kind of can. Try to get you up a bit better. Yeah, they're really in a good way too. But yeah, there. You can kind of see the hose clamp is not up on the barb, it's just kind of down the hose. Coolant does look like it could be flushed, it's pretty nasty. So I'm going to go ahead and put that hose clamp back on. This thing does have a lot of play in the steering, and I think I can kind of relay that to that this pitman arm is loose on the gearbox, and she's pretty wore down in here also. So I'm going to go ahead and probably at some point replace the pitman arm. I'm going to try to tighten it up for today and then grease everything. Outer tie rods and everything seem to be alright. Maybe at some point in time I will probably replace most of this stuff. But yeah, underneath this truck, it is extremely, extremely clean. Like, I am not used to this at all. This thing is just really immaculate. I gotta clean the inner rockers here and probably pop the plugs out the rocker panels, and I'm gonna go ahead and wash them out, then let them dry, and then probably wax them. Yeah, these frame wheels are in immaculate condition. Brake lines look great. Fuel lines look great. This is just a very nicely truck. Very nice. Very solid truck. So I do see I can get to my... This thing's just kind of being a pain. But I do see I can get to my fitting up there for my EGR, so I can pop that out, hopefully, and cap it off. Hopefully. Yeah, probably easier to get it from down here than up there. I'll move the O2 wire out the way and pull it out, get it undone, and pull it up there and then block it off. So, but yeah, for right now I'm going to go ahead and get the drain plug and that short NAPA filter off there, and gets the oil draining, and prefer to put some oil on this thing. So yeah. Shocking. That's been on there a day or several. Okay. So I don't really want to get sprayed with hot oil too well. And I don't know how this one's going to spew out of here. So not too bad, even though there's not very much viscosity left in that oil. Ew, there's definitely a bit of wear on that oil. A little bit of metal on that drain plug. Not excessive, but enough to be slightly concerned. That oil reeks of gas, so it also makes me wonder if a fuel pressure problem or a fuel injector problem. Never mind. Well, I got the cats pulled off. Well, the cat setup pulled off, and I ended up knocking out one plugged cat. And now I got to get two band clamps, put the exhaust back together, and then we'll take it for a little bit better of a test drive. It still has a miss, but I think it needs some plugs now. Definitely, the driver's cat was already gone, so it must have got hot and out of the tailpipe. So yeah, get some plugs, put some plugs in it, band clamp the exhaust back together. Had it tuned up pretty recently because he was trying to get rid of the miss, but I'm pretty sure he just put the plugs in it, probably ran decent for a little bit, and then started missing again. And that's what he said it did. So hopefully if I put plugs in it, now that side's not plugged anymore, it'll go ahead and clean up there and run good when we put new plugs in it. So yeah, cut you guys back on when I get some plugs. Well, I got some plugs for the 1 ton. Got some TR55 GPs. Had these for another project, but they ended up being the wrong plugs. But they do fit this bad boy, so I'm gonna go ahead and this thing doesn't have the, yeah, it doesn't have, normally they tell you have a sticker up here that tells you gap and stuff on a lot of these older ones, but this one doesn't. So it does have a small oil leak down there. It does have a small radiator leak too. I need to get a hose clamp for it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull these plugs out and swap them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll catch you guys on. Hopefully that'll fix my problem. We're a little farther in now. I went ahead and changed the plugs, and I still had a miss and a stumble. So I went ahead and I have injectors. I figured I'll go ahead and pull them out, and he replaced the injectors. The original ones were not like these. These are what were in it here, and yeah. So yeah, they're not the, like 3 big holes, kind of a weird pattern. It had the, here's the old plug. As you can see, it wasn't hitting on cylinder 3. We did have fuel going in cylinder 3, so that's never a good sign. And we got spark there. It had those style injectors in it from the factory, and that's the style of injectors I got to replace. So I'm gonna go through, test all the wires in the harness, and probably in this injector harness, maybe check, make sure all the wires got good continuity through them, and just to make sure there's no broken wires or bad resistance or something. Then we will, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the injectors in now, get the rail bolted back down. Then I'll check the wiring, and then we'll put it back together. I don't, unfortunately, have new gaskets, so I think I'm just gonna put a nice bead of silicone around the whole thing. Try to slide that heavy brute of an intake back in there and set it down without smearing my silicone all over the place. So that'll be fun, I'm sure. But yeah, probably do that. Just use some high temp silicone, because I have a feeling this plenum's gonna be off again. I do want to get a compression gauge and check the compression on cylinder 3 too, because if it's got no compression, obviously we have an engine issue. And then at that point, we'll be probably liberating this thing of its 454 and finding something else to put in it. Or if I can find another good 454, I'll put another 454 back in it. If I can find an 8.1, 8.1 would be awesome. But for right now, I'd love to see if we can't get this 454 running good. Well, guys, I went ahead and tested the harness. Everything ohmed out good. Went ahead and recovered it in some Tessa tape. And I think she's about ready to go back on. I went ahead and got the injectors, and my light's almost dead here, so it might blink on us. But yeah, the injectors are in, the new ones, the ones that look like the factory ones. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put a zip tie where my tape came together right down here so it doesn't unravel itself, and then I'm gonna plug the injectors back in, and probably I've already disconnected the coil. I'm gonna go ahead and let it to hit. I'm gonna jump the starter solenoid and watch it, and watch each one of them fire and see how they fire. So we'll see if they fire good. We know we've got good spark, good ignition, or good spark, good fuel. So then that means it's deeper. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that and we'll see where we're at from there. Well guys, I didn't realize I didn't film an outro to this video. But yeah, towards the ending of that, the mist was still there after I fired it back up. And then next day, obviously, I filmed the beginning of this video up on the hill there. So it does still drive and run. But we do have a mist, so I'm hoping that distributor is going to fix the 454 in it. Like I said, if not, we'll be 6.0 swapping it. So either way, making the 454 run will save me some time and be a lot less work. So I hope we can get that accomplished. And it's not a bad motor. So yeah, we'll catch you guys and see you next one.